a top 5 comedy wrestlers of all time. Number 5, Leon Arras. Leon Arras, he was a wrestler like during the World of Sport era, so the 70s and 80s and whatnot. He was from somewhere up north in the United Kingdom, and he was a really good wrestler, but he was just so funny in his matches. It was his reactions to things that was so funny. He would like reverse something or get out of a move, and then he would just say, "How about that then?" and just completely wind up the audience. It's so funny. I've got to show you footage of this guy.
You have to show me. That sounds like exactly my style of comedy.
He would get ready to do something. He'd be like, "Just watch this then. Watch this." And then ultimately fail and fall on his ass.
He's Kellett quite happy to get a ball. Watch his feet.
Coming in at number 4 is a guy I've worked with before, Taguchi from New Japan. I can tell by looks in your face you don't know who he is, but no. I think a lot of the listeners will. The Funky Monkey Taguchi, very, very funny wrestler. He does a lot of stuff with his butt, and a lot of like he's all his offense is based on like his butt. So like he'll do like a running butt and like a splashing butt and all this butt offense. And he's just Taguchi, just his timing with his facial expressions, he's just absolutely perfect. And in a company like New Japan, which is typically very serious and it's the king of sports, to have someone like Taguchi on the card, it's just, it's nice to have that kind of relief on the show. Do you know what I mean? That comic relief that Taguchi brings to New Japan. Number 3, I've got Boom Boom Colt Cabana.
Oh, of course. Damn.
Dude, I remember doing a whole weekend in Germany. WXW, it was the 16 karat weekend. Me and Cabana were booked against each other, and we were basically both like, dude, these fans are burnt out on watching like really good wrestling. Let's just have a comedy match. And we had, it's one of my, I don't know if I've ever watched it back, but I just remember it being like one of my favorite matches of my whole entire career, because we just did full on comedy. Colt Cabana is just very creative with his comedy. Yeah. I think Cabana, he would say, yes, I'm a comedy wrestler. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not offending anyone by saying that, but I think, and that's why Cabana's just been always, I'm saying this as a compliment. Like, he works great in like small buildings. He works great in front of 200 people or even 25 people. He can just get the whole crowd going. Number 2, funny enough, is actually the same as yours, Santino Marella. Like, I don't need to see it anymore.
What more? Yeah, we don't need. Yeah,
we're gonna have him on the show, so we'll talk about it. Yeah, but yeah.
Who the hell is your number 1?
My number 1 kind of goes in line with my number 5. Of course, he's the greatest comedy wrestler of all time, Les Kellett.
Oh, mate. Well, you've won the list. How did I? Of course.
So,
dude, yeah.
For those who don't know, Les Kellett was a big wrestling star in Great Britain during sort of the 70s and even the 80s. And he was just the number 1 comedy wrestler, despite apparently in real life being a true hard bastard. For whatever reason, Les Kellett could just make the people laugh. The faces that he would pull would just have the crowd cracking up. Like the way he would wind up his opponents, it was just so funny. It's like his wrestling style was comedy or torment. Like he would wind his opponents up so much where they'd end up slipping on the banana peel and he'd inevitably beat them. So I think that's really important as well, the fact that you can actually use comedy to win a match. But dude, he would do so many funny things. He would be in a hold and he would make it seem like it was something like really hard to get out of, trying his hardest to get out of a hold, making out that it was so hard. Then all of a sudden he would just like really simply just step out of it. Like, and the crowd would just laugh so much. One of my favorite things he would do is he would like do this like ducking and diving. Like his opponents would like, they'd think he was, startled or something. They would run at him and swing an uppercut and he would just like sidestep out the way, or just the way he said duck and dive out of the way of his opponents was so funny. And just the crowd just laughed so much. And he was just a joy for the audience to watch. So for me personally, Les Kellett, without doubt, without question, #1 comedy wrestler ever.